unfiltered can we be?
No host bar.
Are you guys like willing to shit on other groups?
I think the question is,
JC say can get $20. Come on.
are you guys okay with that? Because you guys have advertisers and sponsors and all that.
Yeah, of course we have advertisers and sponsors, but not Swag, right? Swag is a purely non-commercial entity, right?
Yeah.
Sugi just messaged me, please behave
Yeah, Sugi also messaged me.
yourselves.
Please behave yourself.
So cannot talk anything bad about like Red Army brands, the brands that he brings in and all that, lah.
Great Army has nothing to worry about.
Huh?
Great Army has nothing to worry about.
Okay lah, or some ADs ah.
Hi, Tian Huan and Gabriel.
Yeah, idols. I wonder why these are idols, and I also want to know why, like people call TT great leader.
Dear leader.
Dear leader, great leader, great leader.
No, supreme leader. That is.
I have no idea.
So the only way you can only way you can actually see the comments is you press live comments. Eh?
Yes.
Yeah, it's up to me to control lah. So yeah, but
then everybody else is like
you can only see lah. So if there's some comments that you want to react to, like for example, KK, who says that Terrence really ate very well during
eat
CB.
well during this CB.
So it is like that. It's up to me to control lah. So
Okay.
yeah,
So we have the whole thing again. So what's happening is that someone has a Facebook page on, and that Facebook page is playing. That's why you can hear the. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
okay.
Wendy says, "How come bro looks so skinny suddenly?" Because he shaved his beard and he has a haircut. Yes.
Okay. Hey, how about you just intro everybody, Mel?
You want to start already?
Yeah, start already lah.
Okay. Wow. So on the
Terrence,
dot.
do you want to change? Do you want to change your name?
Hi, Glenn, KK, Wendy, Connie, HY, Alvin, and I'm gonna try Denethor, Calvin. Okay, guys. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We are live with some very special guys tonight. These are the men behind Swag. Okay, Swag, for those of you who don't know, is the Singapore Watch Appreciation Group. And it's a really great bunch of guys and girls who really love watches and are very welcoming to collectors, non-collectors, any kind. I don't know why JC is laughing. He'll tell you why later. So we've got Albert Neo with us and JC. Albert, just before this, was broadcasting the prices of Maoshan Wang durian. So these are the guys behind Swag. Albert is also known as Terrence. Some people refer to him as the great leader, supreme leader, dear leader. So I'm sure all of you, especially the Swag guys, know who he is. So yes, welcome to our live chat with this wonderful group of guys. And to start things off, for those of us who are not from Swag here, maybe we can ask, how and why did Swag start in the first place?
Maybe even before all of that, because we just know these guys like by their names or initials, right? So maybe we can start with Calvin Ko, aka Terrence T, and then we go down to PP and then JC to have them each introduce themselves and their roles behind Swag.
Chris Ong wants to know who is Terrence.
Terrence is the one.
I'm sorry, I don't think we have a Terrence here tonight.
Don't have the one with Swag. Yeah, so Terrence, can you intro?
Yeah, he's in the wrong. He's in the wrong.
My name is Terrence. I am the guy who technically started the group.
Okay.
I think what I have to say next is linked to kind of like how Swag started. So I think That part comes after everyone's intro.
Okay.
And then you
PP?
will understand what I mean.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PP?
Just happened to be in the
It's
group
your
when it
turn.
started.
It's your
Hello.
Yeah. Perseus?
turn. Mhm.
My
Yes.
turn.
So you
You just
started.
happened to be in the group when it started.
Yeah. So I'm Perseus, and I happened to be in the group when TT technically started the group, or more like, yeah. So let's see what TT sums it up later. That'll be more interesting because it's quite an interesting journey, and I think we leave it to TT lah, because he's our
Okay.
supreme leader, right?
Mm. And
Okay,
JC, you want
JC.
to say hi?
Hi everyone, my name is JC. Before I go on,
Poppy.
maybe just a quick shout out to uh, everybody else in Swag, right? The admins and mods, because it's not just the three of us, right? So there are more. MX, Ron, Kelly, Kasim. I don't know why the three of us are here today. I think there should be more of us, but
screen-
somehow, yeah. So we have female ladies admins as well, right? So we've got Nana, we've got Eileen. So just a very quick shout out to them. And then we've got mods, right? Fast, Kasim, Tek Chai. I'm not sure whether Christian Kelvin Ko is a mod. So and Paul, James, Lloyd, yeah, all these guys. So it's actually a collective of group of people who are very like-minded, and I I actually joined much later, and after a while, the guys reached out to me to say, "Do you want uh, to be an
Your
admin
partner,
of the team?" Yeah, so I said, yeah, why not? So here I am.
right? Okay,
Yes.
cool. So back to what Mel was talking about.
Wait, I thought Terrence was gonna say some more first.
Yeah. How and why did Swag start? And
Oh, that one is. Oh. Okay. You ready? So PP is the only other person here that can verify what I just said. Okay, what I'm gonna say. So, more than 5 years ago, I got a call literally in the middle of the night by a gentleman called Lawrence Hong. Okay, so if you are in Roca, you will know who Lawrence is. So Lawrence, Calvin Cole, and Perseus Pang went to have some beer, and then they got drunk, and then they decided, you know what, Roca is basically hell on earth. They say they love watches, but they actually don't. What they want to
can
do
you
is
give some context to what ROCA is, what it stands for?
the Rolex Owners Club Asia.
Wow.
It's also a Facebook group. It
Mm.
came from a forum group that kind of splintered off because the two co-founders had some issues between themselves. Right? So Roca right now has like a bazillion members. Okay, it's a very very big group. They had their own like a frequent flyer app thing, and they had a card that they rolled out for their members a few years ago. And yeah, so that's what Roca is, and you can
Okay.
still find them on Facebook. They're still very much active. Um, so back to what I was talking about. Um, where was I?
Yeah.
They got
Say
drunk.
was how on earth.
Hell on earth.
Hell on earth. Okay, so they decided let's create our own version of heaven on earth. And Lawrence started telling me that what we should do is we should have a group that's really strict on having our members post watches only. So it was supposed to be a watch centric group. Okay. And I was on the phone and I'm like, that doesn't sound very hard to do. Sure, why not? And the next request that came was, could you start the group for us? Because we don't know how to make it happen. And this was Facebook more than 5 years ago, which literally meant that a 3-year-old could go up and start a group. So
Okay.
me being, I guess, the least drunk of all, decided to say yes. And then I asked, what's the name supposed to be? This is the part where Perseus comes in and go like, why don't we call it swag? So if you don't know the story, Perseus is the one that came up with the name.
Okay.
Okay?
You came up with the name
So
before,
we were all kind of
not as
drunk.
an acronym, is it?
Yeah, it was all kind of drunk. Then we figured that we needed a name that's a bit more interesting of sort. Then in my drunken state, it came upon me that, snack was quite a nice thing, new age guy and all, but we are not snack, right? So I flipped it around, thought about what we were doing and why we like watches. Then it became swag. And from then on, it stuck with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of back to front. So we came up with swag first, and then we kind of figured out, okay, what the individual letters were supposed to mean. So we
So
went
are
from
there
there.
any rules for members in swag?
Sorry, there
I
were
mean, it's
what?
supposed to be heaven on earth, right? So what makes it heaven on earth?
Rules.
It's heaven if you like watches for the sake of them being watches. So you don't like them because they appreciate in value. You don't like them just because you can get it without paying a premium for it. You like it not because it's a Rolex. Okay? You like it because you really like it. Because you like the design, because you like the fact that it's a Panerai, even though nobody else likes it, you still are dead set. See, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter
even
whether
if the
it's
brand is dead, right? Yeah.
so yeah. So it's heaven on earth for people who actually love watches. It's not the best of places for people who like to showcase how much money they have or how many zeros that they have written on the checks for some reason that they decide to show complete strangers on the internet.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think for me, because I kind of joined Swag slightly later.
Yes.
So one thing that I noticed is that it's a interest group where you see all sorts of brands, right? And there's no discrimination, right? So every brand is equal, and it is also a website where, if you look at some other websites or interest groups, you tend to see a lot of flaunting of wealth. So they place a watch next to $100,000, and I think this is something that you will not see here in SWAC, and we actually frown upon that. So we can be quite uh, nasty in a way. Sometimes the comments that we say to people who likes to flaunt, well, we swan them, we swan until uh, they will decide to quietly leave the group. Yeah, but I think probably the ethos of Swag is more about respecting all brands, right? Having that shared value, no discrimination. Yeah. Right, not Terence.
Yes. Very true.
Okay, because we have at the next point that's actually coming up. The thing is that watch collecting as a hobby, right? You obviously need to enjoy a certain level of income to buy watches, right? And that being so, it tends to draw groups of people who have money, and with that, draw groups of people who tend to have a bit of ego that comes along with having, good income lah, and having good enough income to buy watches. So how does Swag control your community such that these things don't surface? I know JC just mentioned about people being sworn, but are there actually practical measures that you all take to actually ensure that the peace is sort of kept?
I think what we did very early on was that we were very tight on controlling the content that were posted on Swag. So if we had people who posted the same things that they would on the other groups, those were the ones that we take down. And what we tried to do was, as the admins and as the mods, we tried to lead by example. So we ourselves would create different hashtags. We would post watches that were not Rolexes, were not Omegas. And I think after a while, people kind of get the idea that, oh, okay, that's where they're going with this group. So if you want to flaunt, there are plenty of groups for you to flaunt. And that's not really where you come to flaunt.
So you're saying that people just come in and they get a feel of the place, and then they see if it's for them or if it's not for them. Because I know that some communities are kind of tightly knit. You like need people to intro you in, or I remember when I joined Swag MX. Asked me, hey, you don't know, sir, you never joined, blah, blah, blah. Because I was supposed to be in the watch trade. I am supposed to be in the watch trade, right?
You are in the watch trade.
I am
Yes.
in the watch trade, yeah. So I had to answer a few questions, prior to joining. I think the rest I can't remember. But I gave some like nonsensical answers, but I still got accepted.
Well, the few of us and the rest of the mods who are helping out to accept entry, right? We try our best to. Actually, we don't try our best, lah. We just don't accept people who don't answer any of the questions. Yeah. So, to us, I think it's quite important that the members bother to, or the so-called people who want to join us are bothered enough to enter the answers. Because end of the day, if they can't be bothered, we also can't be bothered to have them with us anyway. Yeah, because for us, we are a group of, like Terence mentioned, watch lovers, more than anything else. Yeah, we don't care if you come from whatever background, whatever collections, whatever you have. Just don't post a fake and we are fine.
Oh, yes. Yeah, no.
You post a fake,
Yeah.
that's it. You're booted out.
That's it.
No chance
Gone.
given at all.
What if the person posts a fake but didn't know that it was a fake? So that
Well,
person cheated.
Impossible.
we don't believe in that kind of thing, but it does happen, I guess, to be honest. Yeah, so there are the nicer ones that are with us, because at first we ran it on our own, right? So we are more stringent and we don't accept crap like that. But with the newer guys with us, they actually do send out a message and like just sound out the guy. Yeah, but most of the time they will pretend and all, but we know it's that game that people play. So bye. Yeah, we're fine without you.
Okay. So JC, you mentioned that you actually joined a bit later, right? And so how did you get involved in such a deep way? Despite being so-called late to the group.
Oh wow, that's a very hard question to answer. I was more active in the forums, maybe, right? But these are the international forums, so the things like Watch You Seek and of course p.com and all that, right? And then because of social media, and Facebook, it's so accessible, and it's just pictures, right? So I sort of got myself onto Swag, but the interesting thing about Swag is that it attracts like-minded people. So
Oh, is it?
yeah, so sort of birds of the same feathers flock together, right? So for us, once you're in swag, you just observe for a while. You see the kind of posts that the rest of the members post in swag. You will start to have a flavor, or you start to realize that there's certain sort of culture to this group, and I think it sort of resonates very well with me, because I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, right? So to me, it's I just post and I don't think about it. I'm not there to like look at how many likes I get, or or post with $100,000 cash. I mean, just as a joke, right? I've stacked like maybe $10, maybe $5 $10 notes, $50. I posted there, but I kind of managed to get some very funny and very funny kind of comments. And I guess the hobby is more, it's a hobby, right? So ultimately there's emotion, but we don't have to think too much about it. So to me, Sweat is an interest group that allows people to express the kind of love that they the love for their watches, but at the same time, you can take things lightly. You don't have to be uh, so sticky, or just try to be you read into everybody's comments and you feel bad. So to me, that's what swag is for me.
Okay, I just want to read Take Chai. Take Chai is part of the swag group, and he makes very incisive posts and comments. So he said that while we're on this topic of inclusiveness, he loves swag because swag doesn't encourage exclusiveness or niche brands or makes. You can post anything from $20 watches to 20K watches, and people can comment without fear of being slimed or trolled. So yeah, it seems like a very nice, loving community.
Yeah, we take it in jest,
We try
I
our
mean, you
best.
can tell from the comments that you guys really love one another. We have a lot of love for TT, especially for Nana, for JC and Persia. I mean, the hashtags that are coming in for TT5711. If we're hitting 20 of these comments, you're gonna have to unbox your 5711 live here.
There was a reason why I was reluctant to even tell people I have one, and that was only by accident. And I only told one person, and then it went from one person to basically everyone else. But I bought it with great difficulty, and I still do intend to keep it for my son. So it's gonna stay that way.
So only your son will get to unbox it, is it?
Yes.
You can wrap it back,
He hasn't even seen it. He hasn't even seen the box.
But then why did you post this reshot like not too long ago?
It has been unboxed.
No, that's definitely not me.
So on the topic of buying watches, right? Can I just have a sort of a gauge as to what your appetites are right now, because like we are in the middle of a pandemic, and like businesses are suffering everywhere. Are you guys still like thinking about buying watches? And if you do, how are you guys gonna be like going about it? Ready, pre-owned, what brands? So anybody who wants to
Can I
start?
say first that I'm really amazed at how I see like NWAs almost every day on the Swag page. You guys are really amazing. Okay,
Yeah,
I want to know how you do it. So
is it very hanging kind of
There.
group to join also? You join the group, you can like sort of make more money also.
I'm equally amazed also, It's
I would
it's
like to
this
think
group
that's
is
the
like
case.
recession proof.
Walao, y'all.
Wait, I mean, Alvin and I, we are like, hey, another NWA.
Yeah, it's crazy, So yeah. So what are your thoughts on buying watches at this point in time? This couple of months, next few months. I want to know because my livelihood depends on it. I think some of our friend reps are tuning in. They also want to know from like people who are buying watches. So yeah, guys.
I think to a certain extent, most of our members have this bad habit. We have this bad habit of wanting to buy more watches and more watches. So I guess the pandemic has affected the economy quite a bit, and not everyone is as doing as well as we hope it will be. But as watch lovers, right, we are not the snobs or the bullshit groups of people who only want to get the best. Yeah,
Oh,
some of
watches.
us are alright with getting just a watch that
So
fits our needs, and that what we would like to just see is just something new in our collection that maybe fits the amount of money that we can spend. Yeah, but of course we have the big hitters who, good or bad times, will just buy. So yeah, those people are good for business, I guess.
so Perseus, you will still buy lah next few months
Um, I would like to, but it depends on my hangness these few months. So I hope with all the hangness that rubs off from swag, right, I can get there.
JC, are you liking any of the new Panerai pieces for the year?
Sad to say
JC is
no.
a bit upset that Panerai put BAU, but they are not really BAU because they can't sell him a strap.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
So
For
anyway,
those of you who don't know,
bef-
Josie is a big Panerai fan. So, yes,
Yeah.
please share.
okay, before I share about my buying habits, let me just answer on PP's behalf. The question that Elvin posted to him. The answer is yes. He will definitely buy. He's bullshitting you. Can we even say that on air? Yeah,
JC
he'll
just said,
definitely buy.
you will
Yeah.
confirm you'll buy. You're just bullshitting us.
Yeah, for sure. He hasn't stopped during the CB period. So now that we are in phase 1 and phase 2, what makes you think that he's going to stop?
Who, Perseus?
Right? PP lah. Yeah.
Melissa, you will have to tell me what he said.
Yeah. So JC is saying that you haven't stopped buying since the CB period. So I think you're quite recession proof yourself.
That's entirely not true. I wish it were true.
It's not, I can vouch it's not true, but I can't tell you why.
Is it your watches also saving for the next generation one, is it?
Actually, no, cause the next generation can just wear whatever the hell I have. It don't matter if it's new. Yeah.
So how do you manage to keep buying new watches?
How do I manage to
By being rich.
money laundering? No, just kidding.
4D, strike 4D.
Strike 4D all the time, and even pools close also continue to strike.
So okay, this I just want to pull out this comment by Zabriel
Yes.
saying that watch investments are a lie that everybody believes. So do you believe these lies or not, Terence?
It's a lie. Well, it's not really a lie. It's true if you only buy stainless steel Rolexes. It's only true if you buy stainless steel Patek. Anything else is basically you buying it hopefully for your own enjoyment, and taking a hit after that and accepting the fact that you're going to take a hit. But if you're buying for the sake of investment, my head hurts. No, I don't think you should be buying watches for investment.
Mm.
Yeah, especially Panerai.
Oh,
Mm.
why do you say that? You enjoy a
Have you
paranormal?
not seen? Have you not
Give
seen
me
their
so much.
prices?
No, definitely it's not for investment purpose, right? It's
It's not.
due to a passion for the brand.
Mm.
So and I think it's no secret. Anybody that goes into the boutique to buy a Panerai, you walk out of the boutique with the value of the watch dropping at least 30% straight off the boutique door. So I guess end of the day, you have to find the watch that sings to you the most. So uh, Panerai is one brand that kind of sang to me a lot.
Mm. Sing very
So
nice songs.
just
Good.
to add on to
Oh,
that
very
point,
nice, very nice.
just to add on to that point, I think what JC touched on also gives me some. It sends very weird signals to me when brands and ADs seem very confused when they try to approach us for any kind of collaboration because they're like, but you're not really into like sales and marketing and all that. I said, yes, that's true, but we like watches. We love watches. If you're selling to watch lovers, then it makes sense to work with us. But if you're only out there to get a sale, then obviously we're not the right crowd, right?
Okay.
Because if you look at guys like Ichet, the way Ichet spends money to buy his watches, the ADs love him because they know he loves those watches, right? How many times have you seen him flip anything? He buys them because he genuinely loves whatever it is that he's paying for, and those things go into his Lego box collection. So those are the kind of people that we have in the group,
Mm.
right?
So,
And if you, yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
lost it.
Lost it. Okay,
Yes.
now my so you said like brands like to. I mean, I know the. I mean, of brands who are always keen to reach out to new people, new collectors. They want to sell watches, all right.
Yeah.
So you have a community that is, engaging, and obviously they see potential there, lah. So can you just share with us like how brands have approached you to try and work with you, and how you in discussions with these brands try to stay true to yourself, as authentic as you can as a group, because brand can say, oh, hey, you bring 10 of your big hitters here to for dinner, and then we hope to sell some watches or whatever, and try to cut a deal or whatever. But how do you actually like have brands engage you, but at the same time, be real to why you started the group in the first place?
Okay. Um, I think I'll use two examples, and you can see that they straddle two different sectors. One would be Casio Singapore, and the other one is Bell and Ross Singapore. Okay. I bring these two up particularly because the way they did their engagement with us, it was explicitly without any sales targets in mind. So it wasn't about sales, it was about engagement, it was about knowing our group, it was about telling us about what their lineup was, right? And the group, when we work with these two brands, we have repeatedly told them that A, we're not into doing sales for you guys, that we're only interested to do this if our goals align. So if our members were interested in your brand and they want to partake in whatever activity that you have organized, fine, then we would, there's a meeting of minds. Other than that, we're not doing it. And we have actually said no to some ADs. There were ADs that were introduced to us and they were telling us to go down to the boutique, have some drinks, some finger food. There's going to be a DJ there. There's going to be dog games. Does that sound familiar? Is that every single other lazy brand does that? And at the end of the day, if you're going to ask us to give you 50 names, guess what? Even the most kiasu kind of watch collectors are going to get bored of going down to a boutique every other day just to waltz into your boutique, have some free food, and get the dog in. It's not going to work long term for us, and it definitely wouldn't work for them. Unfortunately, not every brand would understand that, and not every brand appreciates that kind of feedback. But that is the feedback that we have. And PP has done his share of telling them off as well. So, yeah, not really. Anything else to add, Mr. Pang?
Well, he more or less summed it. Because for us, it's really not about bringing our members there and just being freeloaders and all. We always tell them that, we're not interested in your spending money on us and hoping that we bring people to buy your stuff. Because what we really want to do is to expose our members to more brands that maybe they're unfamiliar with. And maybe at the same time, the brands can have an opportunity to maybe network and then maybe get a potential client from there if they do their part as well. Yeah. So it's not so much of free food. Then you get all your dog gifts. It gets boring. Yeah.
Okay. So there are brands who actually approach you with the end game of like hoping to get some sale out of the event, right?
I mean, I've gone through the pains of explaining to them how expensive it is just to land X number of pieces being sold. It's not worth it. I mean, you can calculate. It's crazy money to spend on getting your staff to stay back, getting the finger food done, getting the DJ to come down, getting the dog gifts, even though it's free, but the time and effort that you need and the time and the money that you need to spend on getting everything all done, it's not a very smart way to spend your time and your money.
So if brands want to engage you, right?
So how would you prefer brands to engage you?
Be genuine, be authentic, and actually love what you're trying to sell us. Okay? Richard from Grashute, he loves his watches. He loves his entire lineup. He loves whatever it is that arrives at the store. And you can tell because when he's explaining it to us, when he's showing us the watches, it's not like someone trying to sell you a Daniel Wellington.
Wellington ako na.
Who say that, bro? $200 million, from.
sorry. Yeah. So,
Daniel Wellington is the best.
Yeah, don't shit on the business, no? Good business model.
I'm not. $12 watches that make the owners $200 million. Why not?
So, okay, you talked about like Richard and Glashuter, from Glashuter Original engaging you, right? So, I'm just playing the devil's advocate from the brand's point of view.
Yeah.
Has he sold any watches to any member of the swag group?
Yes.
Yes?
For sure.
Yes.
For sure.
For
yes.
sure.
Yes.
Okay lah,
So-
cool lah. Fruitful engagement. Oh,
I I guess the marketing people should be engaging and not the sales people.
So which one did you buy?
It wasn't me. Unfortunately, it wasn't me.
Yeah, you must see his namesake.
I
No,
don't
the
have
Look at his
Ichie,
namesake.
Ichie.
Oh, Ichie. So which did Ichie buy? Or which ones?
Ichie only buys special editions.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Yes.
Okay, great. So we have Alvin Chung who says that swag is a great place for the watch poison to spread. That's a very dangerous place to be.
Yes.
And he's equally guilty because he spreads the Cartier poison every other day. So much so that we call him ACC, Alvin Cartier Chong. Right?
Okay, yeah. So let me just go through some of the comments. Yeah, Gabriel, as we were talking about, we don't need free caps and free paper bags.
Ooh. Yes.
That's the truth, isn't it?
MX says we have the same perspective towards watch media too. Meaning what?
Oh, no.
Wow.
Really? We do?
Why?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
I think you all must do a separate interview with him alone.
Yeah.
How? Why?
Closed door.
Okay, MX, we take this offline.
So okay, maybe just can we share with us like how swag is on its fifth year right now, right? So how big the group gotten?
Yeah, how many members do you guys have?
Here's the thing. We actually don't want the group to be very big. We actually have a very big list, and you can ask JC, because JC is a latecomer, so he would have seen the long list. But we have a very big long list of rejects and blacklists.
Okay.
But we're not really in it for the numbers, and we're really more in it if you could answer the 3 questions, and or if you're a known person to one of the admins or one of the mods. So Alvin, I think you came in despite your funny answers because MX asked you to come in. So I think his trigger finger was there to just approve.
I would have been blacklisted from the start, I think.
So we do. It's not that we are anti brands. It's not that we don't like people to sell to us. I think what we want is people to genuinely believe in what they are trying to tell us. They need to believe the story. If some 3-month intern at Panerai decides that they want to sell JC, I don't know what's the latest Panerai that they have.
The Luminor.
Luminol 1117, 70-year warranty, you know,
Seven.
where
That's
already you
that's
can,
BS right there.
no, yeah,
BS right there.
So
It's
I mean,
perfect for the next generation.
there needs to be some conviction coming from the voice trying to sell it to JC. I mean, we're not stupid people here,
Hmm.
right?
So Calvin asked, how do you define today's customers' expectations from AD then?
Wow, best. I don't want to pay premium. I want to somehow jump queue without paying my dues. Okay, and I think Max Howe has experienced this firsthand with people trying to jump the queue. So there have been people actively trying to figure out how do I get my hands on the stainless steel Rolex without paying a premium for it. And you have seen people just do funny things.
Like what?
People suddenly like decided that they're gonna be the next. I don't know what's the
Shakespeare.
the next Shakespeare, and they write sheer poetry over that keyboard of theirs, and you're like, really? Why do I have to read through all of this? Right? It's a massive thank you, and please give me the next stainless steel sports Rolex, please. And then they conveniently forget that these are businesses. If they give every single stainless steel sports Rolex to you for whatever reason, then what about the other customers? So I think it's good to have customers, but it's also good to perhaps not pander too much to your customers, because these are the people that's just going to run away to whichever other AD they can get a better deal with. Why do you bother with people who are not loyal to you?
Hmm.
You know,
Okay.
I mean
I'm sure
that's
you.
my.
I'm sure you guys have encountered a fair share of these people even within Slack.
I don't know about the two of them, but I've had random new members that would message me. And so here's a tip: please do not send me messages on Facebook Messenger. I will never read it until like 2-3 weeks later on. I don't check my messenger at all. Okay? So they would send me messages to ask me, how do I get a Rolex stainless steel, whatever. So it's going to be a GMT, it's going to be a Daytona, ha ha ha. It's going to be a, that is,
5711.
Your
oh, that
inbox
one
is
you
going to be
ask
flooded
instead.
soon.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Don't send you messages on FB Messenger.
Send it to PP. PP will know how to deal with it. I think people who ask questions like that don't really like watches for the sake of watches, right? So these are the people who want to buy watches so that they can flip it for a premium. So that leaves that don't generally put them in good books with us. I would say like the,
Yeah.
the admin
Yeah,
and
and
the ops team.
that's the thing, is it? Because Rolex has gotten to a level where now almost everybody wants a Rolex. But if you
Why?
go down to, yeah, if you go right down to the core, right? What's the reason for wanting a Rolex, right? Is it because you genuinely love the brand, or maybe because everybody likes it, so I gotta have it and I can show it to everybody else, or I can buy it and then I can flip it for a lot of money. So I think for some brands, because of their current status, right, there are a lot of non-genuine followers in that
Yeah.
sense, and these guys just blindly buy whatever that's popular, or you know, purportedly to be quite popular, but sometimes they get their games wrong, and then uh, they buy, and then after that this thing just drops, and then they try and get rid of it, not because they, really like that particular brand or design. So I don't know, I feel that there's still a lot of such people around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we get it too, you know, like people message us on Facebook asking, how do I get the Hulk? That's like the number one request that we always get. You know, where can I buy the Hulk? I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
don't
we don't sell watches.
yeah, we don't sell watches.
Yeah, we run about things that we cannot afford. That's the problem. You ask us to afford use. Yeah. So, Perseus, anything to add to that?
No, I'm good.
That's because he has a hawk.
But like Kitty said, we do get a lot of messages from weird people asking, how did y'all get it? Then we're like, I don't know. He decided that he should give it to us. And it's really up to the AD's choices, who they want to allocate or whatever the case. But ultimately, it is not. I think for us, it's more like, can we say we tio pio? Yeah, we more or less like strike 4D, you know. And some people are very upset that we got it. But then again, to us, it wasn't something that we asked for, but it was something that was given. And it's not like it's free, you know.
Yeah,
We paid for it.
exactly. It's not free.
Yeah, we paid for it, no. Yeah, it's not like a donated watch. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We wish we can tell them how to get it, but it's the AD's game, not our game.
Okay.
It's just to say PP and TT has the same AD.
Yes, we do.
It's very true. Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, we got the same AD on the same day.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, just around.
Same watch also, right?
Yes.
Huh? So
What
bro.
the help is it? Both of you got the help from the same AD.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Star-crossed lovers.
Same day, just maybe 15 minutes apart or so.
Yeah.
Okay lah. Since we have a bit of time left, right? I think let's devote some time to talking about actual watches
Okay.
that you guys are important to you guys lah. Okay. So I know we asked you guys to share 3 pieces each. So okay, let's start with JC because I scared he talked about Panera. You say it's going to be 3 hours, right? So
Bye.
So you should start with them first, not me.
Then if we run out of time, there's no dry air time already.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who's
Okay.
pressure on you?
So which one you want to start with first?
Okay,
Anyone.
Let's start with the Swag 5th anniversary watch. How about that?
Good choice.
Sure.
Alvin, you have the picture of the watch.
No, that's the
No,
No,
best.
that's not the one.
This is the first
No,
one.
wrong.
This is the first one.
Yep.
Okay, wait. Your talk first. I need to download from the WhatsApp group.
Okay, tell us about the watch. Okay, Swag celebrates its 5th anniversary this year. So
Yeah.
there is a new timepiece out. Let us
Yeah.
know about it.
So this is not a paid promotion
Yeah.
by any chance. We are doing it with Indie Darlings Notice because we met one of their founders when he came down for a visit to Singapore. So we went to lunch with him. Thanks Sugi for the nasi lemak. And I think what they had was very compelling, and we decided to do the 5th edition with them. And we chose a colorway that is, I think, quite in sync with 2020. We went with a 7 dial.
Mm.
So we're expecting it to hit the shows before the end of 2020 because 2020 is our 5th year anniversary.
So is this a limited edition?
Yes, we are limiting it to a very small batch, actually. The smallest batch we've had so far.
Mm.
So there are still some pieces left, I think. If anyone still wants to get their hands on one, please let any of the admin, any of the mods know, and we will send you to the right link. Sorry, my laptop just went to bed.
So they can request for it on the Swag Facebook page.
They can send us a PM. They can message MX. They can message any of us here.
But don't send
Don't
Terrence
message TT.
because
Yeah.
He doesn't check his messenger.
Yeah, I will come back to you like 4 weeks
You'll get
later.
the 6th anniversary edition instead.
Yeah. Hey, MX, can send me the picture so I can flash it because I can't find it on file. So at least
Alex didn't send us the pictures.
the people know what we are talking about. So
Okay, never mind. While we wait for MX to send,
let's go to JC lah. I think it's itching to.
JC, let's talk about your PAMs.
Yes, I am the resident cam slut
Okay, go for toilet break now.
in the group.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think prior to this chat session, I think Elvin reached out to us to request for at least 3 watches. That's very close to our hearts. So I've given him 3 Panerais. The PEM 372, PEM 448, and what was the last one? PEM 375.
So which one you want to talk about first?
I think let's start with the 372 lah.
Okay.
So this watch is, I don't know, any Panerai fan will probably know this watch. Reason being, in 2011 when this watch was released, they it caused quite a bit of a sensation or stir. It was actually a regular production piece, but interestingly, they had some other special edition watches that was released the same year, and the special edition releases were not selling well, and the boutiques actually said if you want your 372, you need to bundle, and people needed to buy a special edition in order to get a regular production piece. So that's the 372. And to this day, if you look at the 372, it is probably the most true to its original DNA, right, of Panerai. So it's a 47 mm, very big watch, but also because of its military heritage, it needed to be of a certain size and built. Right, it's got a very beautiful 2 hands, so no second hands, no nothing, right? Just 2 hands, but it basically does its job very well. So you get very good lume, you get superb build quality, you get. Am I selling the watch?
Not paid sponsorship.
Yeah, I'm not paid to do this. But then the thing about this watch, which I or all Panerais, which I like, is actually this picture kind of sums it up. There is the ability to sort of dress up the watch or dress down the watch, whichever way you like, right? So it comes with screw pin bars. So you just have a screwdriver, you can change the strap. Anyone can do it. So Terence, why? What happened? Yeah. So
Alvin
that's the
would say they have a easy quick switch system now also.
no. It's. I mean, this is really a good watch to me, and it comes with a 3-day power reserve manual wind. So um, it's basically it has all the things that you can ask for. You know, it's simple. It's not too overly complicated. You can see the time. You can tell the time any time of the day. You know, at night.
Okay.
So I that's the watch that I like a lot, and I think in the watch community, especially the Paneristas, right, a lot of these people will recognize this watch. It's probably the most used watch for a lot of the strap sellers as well.
Okay. Next. Like.
Did I take too long?
No, it's okay, it's good. The Kelly?
Okay. Oh, that one is a very interesting story. So this is actually the second I think commercial California piece by Panerai. So the first one was the 249, right? And when this one came out, it's limited to 750 pieces. I think it was so hot, nobody could get it. And I actually got this through Malaysia Risti. So for those people who know Ong Xiaoling, he's probably the boss of the MY Risti group. So he was kind of selling this. So he posted it I think in a Singapore website. He posted it everywhere. And I saw this, so I hit him up, and he said, "Oh, you're in Singapore. I can try to come down." I said, "Why not?" But then later on, because it was based in KL, right? So later on, he said there was some change in plans. He couldn't come down. So in the end, he said, "Don't worry, I have this friend, and he's also a Risti, and he's based in JB. He will come over to KL to collect the watch from me, and then he will drive down to Singapore to pass it to you." So uh, the and actually we transacted in Singapore, and I got to know the JB Risti as well. So it's the
There's a
community of
JB
Penang.
Risti.
Hmm?
There's a
What's that?
JB Risti.
Yeah, yeah. So hey, there's a Ang Mo Kio Risti also. Yeah. So anyway, I got this pre-owned, and so it was in very good condition, and the guy, his name is CK lah, CK. Who I think in the Panerai community, a lot of people know him also. And since we've met the first time, I think we've been communicating on and off as well. So you
Member.
see, the watch hobby can make a lot of friends.
Okay. Last one for you. The 375.
No.
Okay, I
Yeah.
try to be.
Hmm?
375 is a very interesting watch. Currently, it's not with me. It is in the Panerai boutique
Yeah.
because this watch is made of a material called carbon. Sorry. It's made of a material that is ceramic coating over an aluminum base watch. The case is aluminum, right? So according to Panerai, right, this watch is supposed to be the coating is supposed to be so hard. It's harder than steel and stainless steel and what have you. But the interesting thing about this watch is that the coating started to peel off. So I was quite disappointed. And I sent it back to Panerai. They are currently doing the recoating for me.
Okay.
But it is a very beautiful watch. Very quickly, right? It's the only two Panerais in their range with the wording 1950 on the dial.
Hmm.
And the 1950 is the name of this case, 1950s case. And the other 1950 is the PEM 127, which is also called the Phoebe. This is called the Black Phoebe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very beautiful.
Long Long asked whether the case
Case
specs are
back
closed.
closed.
Yeah.
Sorry
all-
again?
Case specs, are they closed on all Panerais?
No. They are open skeleton case back. You can
Oh,
see the movements at the back. Yeah.
nice.
So very nice. And that one has a tinted case sapphire glass at the back. So the movement is all tinted out. Quite nice.
Which one's the 375? Is it?
375. LE 2000 pieces.
Hmm.
Okay. So shall we move on to PP, Perseus?
Hello.
Yeah, sorry. This is PP Junior.
Hi, Baby Junior.
Can tell you are PP Junior.
Okay, say good night. Say good night.
Good night.
Hi.
Say bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, sorry guys.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no key.
Okay,
So which one you want to start with?
just pick one you like.
Okay, let's talk about the sub, the Rolex sub.
Okay. Okay.
I love
Well,
you too.
Yeah, I love you. Go, go.
You put down first lah. You put down first lah.
Yeah, so this one is like my wedding watch, as you can see from the picture. Yeah, so this one was a piece that I got off the second-hand market. Then so to me, right, it doesn't really matter if it's a brand new piece or whatever the case, as long as it looks okay to me and something that I'm comfortable with paying. Yeah, like I mentioned, swag is not about spending top dollar all the time for everything, but we do have members who would just get something that they are happy with, and this was something that I really liked because the very first one I got was a deep CC dweller, and when I got it, my wrist was really quite big, so it wore quite well. Then after that, the wrist got a bit smaller and it didn't wear so well. So when I looked around for a more comfortable piece, right, I actually found this, and it's still with me, like most of my watches.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you wear it on your
I
wedding
mean,
shoot, this one.
sorry.
You wear it for your wedding shoot?
Yes, it was actually the
This is you,
one
right?
of the
Was it right?
watches. Yeah, one of the watches that I wore on my wedding day itself also.
One
Mm.
of the watches.
Yeah,
One.
one of the watches. You know the ladies change their gowns, right? I changed my clothes and the watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's talk
Next,
about the other Rolex, huh?
the Explorer
Okay.
2.
Okay, so the Explorer 2, right, is it's actually a hand-me-down piece from my dad. Just to share, this is a full set tritium dial with receipts and all from like many years ago. Yeah, so this one was something that he gave me on my 21st birthday, and he was like, I don't have anything to give you lah, so why do you just take this? And the first thing that I asked him was, fake one, right? and he was pretty upset actually. But it was in pristine condition, and he actually bought it with the intention of handing it down to me lah. Yeah. So unlike TT, he wore it. Yeah, instead of kept it nicely boxed for me.
Double seal.
Yeah, double sealed. But this one was like at least it was a full set. It was not just the watch only, you know. Yeah.
So do you
So
still
this
wear it
one
often?
is actually I've not worn it for about a year now. Cause I kept it in a dark place, hoping that the tritium would patina. Yeah, so maybe in a few more years when I take it out, I can tell you whether it works. Yeah, so this is one of the more meaningful pieces in my collection that likely wouldn't go because I'll likely push it down to my boy as well.
Okay. And then
Mhm.
just the last piece I just want to share.
Yep.
Because we are talking about how you guys always have NWAs all the time, right? Even though it's like times are tough, and then you show up with something like this,
So we realized this was your NWA.
one of the recent ones, lah.
Hey, I heard it's one of their
Well,
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
well,
So
this one
good Kickstarter brand,
was it's a very very old Kickstarter brand, right? They got hidden away in the attic, no? Mhm. Yeah. So for this piece, right? Well, it's a funny story because we had a few of us in. We have a couple of chats on WhatsApp, and it branched out from the main chat, but we have another few more guys that are always looking out for new things to get, like Elvin, Chris, Andy, couple of us now. So we were just
Rich
looking
people
around,
lah.
and for my
The rich
sorry,
people WhatsApp group. The rich people WhatsApp group.
yeah, I wasn't supposed to be inside, so because I didn't fit that profile. Yeah, but anyway, so I was looking around. I guess I've been looking around for an AP for the longest time, but I realized that it's like impossible to get without an account with certain ADs and all that. So for me, I was just looking around for something else that looks nice and sleek and sharp, and I was just flipping through and I was like, oh god, this how did I miss this when it launched? Yeah,
Mm.
because maybe I wasn't really looking, but when I saw it, it was like something that I really wanted to try. So I spoke to my good friend Chris Patek Philip Ong, and he's like, "No, bro, no problem, bro. Let's go. Let me bring you there." Then when we got there and we took it out and we took a look at it, and it sat really nice on the wrist. Although some of the people that I know aren't really very fond of the weight of the piece itself. Yeah, but for me, I thought it's something really special, and it's finished really really well. Yeah, so I decided that I would just get this. Yeah, that was on the day that he brought me down, and the guy made a good deal. And I said, okay, fine, let's do
Well,
it.
this is like love at first sight, lah.
Yeah, it was like more or less love at first sight. Yeah,
Mm.
it's still like something that when I pick it up and it's wow. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Is this your first anime?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
It's
it's
gonna
actually
be
it's not
the
my
last.
first Zenith, it's my only Zenith.
It won't be
Okay.
the last, right?
I don't think it will be the last, but let's see what they come out with because they've been coming out with pretty interesting pieces.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
but I'm short of bullets, so we'll see.
Short of bullets.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
quite short actually.
Okay. Shall we move on to TT now?
Yes, please.
Wow.
Andy
Yeah.
and showing off his big black pen.
So
Yeah,
many
this
endings.
big black pen.
So yeah, TT.
TT.
Anyone?
Which one are we talking about?
Not this
No,
one.
not this one.
Not this
Oh,
one.
sorry.
Let's talk about the Casio
Yes.
G-Shock.
Okay, hang on. Thank you. This is something I can afford. Please tell me more about this watch.
Actually, you'll be shocked how much I bought this for.
Why? How
Why
much?
very
I bought this from Seiya Japan when it came out on limited release. I think about 3-4 years back, and when it landed in Singapore, it cost me close to $900. So the DW 5000 has been with me since, and I think with the circuit breaker, this watch really spoke to me because I didn't need to wind it again. I don't need to adjust for dates. I just grab and go. So it was that easy, and I don't have to charge it like my Apple Watch.
Mm,
Right? So
Lazy fella.
it keeps time well. Zero maintenance. I don't have to baby it at all. Um, it fits everything that I've worn so far during the circuit breaker, which isn't much.
But I thought, didn't you start something at the beginning of the year? One watch for 365 days.
I blame it on the circuit breaker. That didn't work out well for me because when you're well, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm at home, I don't need to wear a watch. So yeah,
yeah, me neither.
so that was a bit painful for me.
Okay, so then we have another Rolex Explorer. This is the Explorer 2.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Yeah.
This is the 42 version of the Polar Explorer 2. And this is probably the only one that I regret selling.
Mm.
I sold this to fund a Sea Dweller, an
Mm,
ST4000, and turns out I didn't like the ST4000, and that was I still regret it to this day. I think to this day I still regard this as a perfect modern Rolex because it's the right size. It's not like a 40 maxi case trying to act all 44. It's a 42 being a 42. It wears true to its size. It wears well. It's well built. It's very legible. Yeah. So that is one of my key regrets in selling.
I mean, why didn't you consider selling off other watches to fund the Sea Dweller? Was it because like this probably could fetch, a good price? That's why.
Because I was actually listening to I guess the wrong kind of advice, which was you should keep the Daytona, you should keep your subs and everything because those things to appreciate. Nobody wants an Explorer to. So
Mm,
I didn't listen to I think eventually what we advocate everyone to do, which is to buy and keep what you like.
mm,
So I didn't keep what I like. I think we learn along the ways um, things that would matter to us shouldn't be let go of, because right now the prices are, frankly speaking, a bit nuts.
You can sell your 5711 to buy this bag.
The problem with selling the 5711 is that I will never be able to get another one. Right? You're gonna have to do really weird stuff to be able to get one at all.
Let's talk about this then.
This
This is-
was this is Ming Xiang's handiwork. This is our first anniversary watch, and obviously for sentimental reasons, I'm still wearing it. I still have it. Right. I think everyone loved the design. Everyone loved the watch. Everyone loved the fact that it was brass. And I think we sold out this one well within half an hour.
Mm.
So everything was just taken, and we were quite happy with this. So we carried on the tradition of launching watches for certain anniversary timeline.
Right. Okay. Speaking of tradition, right? Chris Ong mentioned this that's always inscribed on your watches, right?
Yep.
You want to show like what does it mean?
You don't know what it means,
I don't know.
What do you not know?
Can we say this like on Facebook Live
Yeah,
to get censored?
you don't circuit breaker.
Yeah, you don't
Very
circuit
close,
break.
very close.
Yeah, very close.
Why don't circuit breaker?
But
No,
since you take this,
that's sort of like a motto, right? YDCB, right? Why has it become a thing?
But we have to put it in context first, lah. This
Yes.
is a bit of a local, pretty vulgar, colloquial kind of a language, right?
Mm,
Or should I say it's a dialect? Yeah, it's actually said in a mix between English and dialect, which makes, I guess you can call it Singlish, I guess.
Mm,
okay.
Yeah. So it sort of means,
Don't be a douche, lah.
yeah, don't be a douche, lah.
Mm.
Yeah. Don't be a
And
douche.
it's
You got
engraved,
it right.
it's engraved at the back of the watch, is it?
Yes, all our anniversary watches.
Okay, speaking of anniversary watch, Alvin, you have the picture of the
Okay.
latest one, right? Salmon dial. Before we
Yeah.
forget.
Okay. So
the latest
Yeah.
anniversary edition. Yeah.
So I think what we like the most about swag is that there's this rich diversity of watches. Everything from Patek Philippe to, have we ever had a Daniel Wellington? I
Yes,
think we had. Yes.
it appeared at one gathering.
So everything from Pateks to Daniel Wellingtons and everything in between, right? So diversity is one of the things that one of our moderators, Paul Chong, has been talking about, and we have embraced it in the form of an engravement on the watch itself. So you can see the rich salmon dial on a very classic divers style of watch. And I think we will be having the prototypes shipped to us pretty soon, so we can have actual live shots taken by PP and the other more talented photographers in the group to really show what the salmon dial looks like. Because I think people are kind of like, I don't quite know if this works on a mock-up. So what we'll do is yes, Julian, it's sandblasted. The entire case will be sandblasted.
So there's an estimated production period of 3 months and likely to be delivered end of August. How much is this retailing for?
Hello.
Oh, we haven't said.
How much does it cost?
I don't remember actually.
Hello? Guys?
No
PM.
one remembers.
Hello, can you hear me?
PM for pricing.
Yeah, PM for price.
For price, please. Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think Terence's audio.
Okay, $598, says Min Tian.
Okay,
Oh.
there you go.
okay.
Okay. Okay, cool. So
598.
598, quite
Okay,
good
MX
number.
just put 598.
Hmm.
598 last call, live auction now.
So great. Okay, so I just want to round out this chat. I just want to find out from you guys, like, what does the next couple of months or the next few years hold for Swag? What are you guys going to be up to? How are you guys going to be like keeping the faith, keeping the love?
I
I
think
think in
what
the
we want to
immediate
do.
next few days, I think many of the members are itching to catch up. So we are trying to remind them that need to keep to the safe distancing and the 5 packs max get together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a lot of them miss each other. Or at
Yeah.
least miss each other's pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, cannot do group wish shots.
Yeah.
I
You can
think,
do group wish shot but 1 meter apart. Maybe you need a
yeah.
very wide angle lens.
One of the reasons why I think Swag has worked out so well and why there's a tightly knit community is really because we do very frequent get togethers. Very frequent. And um, if you're a new member or you're a member that's been sitting in the back in the shadows, just reading stuff and not commenting, not contributing, that is fine. You can be all of those things, right? But please come down to our get-togethers because that's really where,
The magic happens.
yeah, yes, that's really where the magic happens. You get to know one another. You get to talk to them on a more intimate level. You get to understand how they are as people, and you become friends. I mean, ultimately, at the end of it, that's all you want, right? You want to gain more knowledge. You want to get to know more people who understand what is it like to stand in the middle of the CBD,
Pull out an umbrella and take a
and then
shot.
you do this, and then people are like, that's all you really want. And there are a lot of us in the group, and I think we're more than happy to have new people come in
Yes.
to join us in our get-togethers.
I think we would like
We welcome
to,
everybody.
when it's possible, maybe to do more ristavels, right? As PP so appropriately terms it previously, ristavels. So I think we've done one which was quite successful previously, and it is also a chance for people to come together and talk to the different personalities. So I think the previous session we had people like Chris who was there, and if you want to know everything about Attack, you can go and talk to him, right? You can talk to Ron, who's a gorilla advocate or slut, right? And he will tell you everything about the brand. So I think that platform or that kind of social gathering is very good for common like-minded people to come together and then just talk about watches. Don't talk about value or how much the piece is, but just really appreciate the watch for what it is. And of
Yep.
course, can come and talk to me about Panerai.
I think a lot of people
Shameless.
are shy, and then they think that their collection or the kind of watches that they have, they feel that it's not really appropriate. They don't want to go and talk to someone about watches because they have brand X or brand Y. And the thing is, if you can't find a reason to talk to someone in Swag about your watch, then arguably there's no other watch group out there that can accommodate your collection. There's no one else is going to talk to you about your brand X or your brand Y other than us, because we don't really care.
Wow,
What
so
we,
you take in all the misfits and all the all the all the scrap stuff.
we
Um,
I think what we want is to bring out people who are not the usual suspects.
Mm.
The Rolex folks are gonna find the Rolex folks. The vintage Rolex folks are gonna find the vintage Rolex folks, right? The Risties have the Risties. So everyone else, where do they go,
Mm.
right? So I mean, that's why when you asked us what is it that we are looking for in terms of numbers and everything, our membership is not focused on numbers. Our membership is focused on authenticity. It's focused on people who actually do love watches, right? So someone who loves Casio gets as much respect from us as someone who loves Patek Philippe, right? So you can have the entire stainless steel Rolex sports collection, and if you're only into it so that you can flip it for a good margin, then not really into our whole agenda.
Mm.
Because you can see, I started a business thread where people can advertise for things that they want to offload, if they want to offload, and you don't see many people selling stuff. And even when they do, it's not big ticket items.
That means
Yeah.
go and check it out. Not big ticket one. Can afford.
It's not.
they are
Is it
looking
watches?
for a new home. No?
Yes,
Is
Most
it a
of this
platform
is so
for watches though?
it's our own
it's for
thread
everything.
inside our. Yeah.
It's for everything.
So a lot of them I think have pieces that might not have been loved that much, and they rather someone else who would love them a bit more take over. So we
Mm.
thought it was a nice avenue for some of our members to maybe pass it on to someone else who might really like it more.
Mm.
We never advocated sales ever for the last 5 years, and this year we decided that maybe it's something that we can help our members maybe reach out to other members who might
Mm.
like some of the pieces that they have less love for. Yeah.
With the correct intention.
Yeah, of course.
Mm.
Not
Okay.
not to sell your Rolex at RRP plus 200%.
Yeah. Not to flip. Is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not to flip, of course.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for speaking to us tonight. Congratulations once again on the 5th anniversary of Swag, and love the new watch. Hope it gets sold out really soon. And thank you for all to all our viewers for joining us tonight. Do continue to support Swag and continue to join us for our future Facebook Live sessions. Alvin, anything you want to add?
No, just to say that if you love watches, however rich or however not rich you are, and want to have a place where you can hang and feel like you're not being judged, and talk to people with a bit of a sense of humor about watches and watch collecting, that might be the place that you can find.
Hmm.
Swag Singapore Watch Appreciation Group on Facebook. So yeah, check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember to answer all the questions.
Yeah.
And hope you guys can have your next GTG soon.
Yep.
Very soon. Very soon.
Yeah, groups of 5, 1 meter apart.
Sorry, one more thing. The price is wrong. The 5th anniversary, 498, not 598.
$100 less than what we said earlier.
Mm.
Approximately.
Okay.
Okay, thanks guys for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alvin. Thank you, Melissa.
Have a good evening, guys.
Yep.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thank you.